Hello there and welcome back to Corey Loses, where today we are once again continuing our Thrawn's Revenge 2.3.6. Technically it was a preview playthrough, but now the mod is out. But yeah, we're playing as the Empire, using stuff that's a little bit before the release version, so you guys would be playing with more updated stuff than me. Basically for the last week, there haven't been as many Let's Play episodes of Empire at War stuff, because I've been outside of streaming, pretty much just focusing on fixing a bug that has been really annoying. Thanks for subbing, Vinny. For those of you watching on YouTube, this is being recorded live on Twitch, not Switch. We're releasing Thrawn's Revenge for the Nintendo Switch, but I'm playing live on Twitch, and then those episodes get posted on YouTube. So if you want to watch the recordings as they happen, there's a link to the Twitch channel in the description. But yeah, so we had a problem upon release that most people didn't get, but there were a few people that got a lot, where at a certain point, you could just have the game entirely lock up. So it wasn't like a crash to desktop. The game would just freeze. And I basically spent the last week since release just working on trying to figure out what was going on there. Like the testers were doing repeated playthroughs of the first 15 minutes of the game on different builds just to see which ones would crash or not. And we were kind of at a loss for what was going on. We had like no idea until this morning. We tried to change the combat power in the back end, which is basically the strength the AI thinks the units have. It's just a single value that ships have. And it turned out that those numbers were high enough that it was overflowing some sort of integer limit and was just causing the game to freeze up. So I don't have the fix for that in this playthrough. So it is possible that we'll run into that issue. If we do, then I'll have to apply the fix that we've applied to the release version. So if you were having that issue in the release version, as long as we were correct in what was doing it, then you should be good to go now. But yeah, so that was a horrible week. I was very, very stressed out. Yeah, so like the LP Trident Stinky Crash went to the LP build. I did give this build to the testers to see if it had existed, if the bug had existed at this point. Because SSDs hadn't been reworked yet, it is possible we won't run into it, and it is possible to go through the entire playthrough when it was active, not running into the issue. So I'm kind of just hoping we'll be lucky with that. But again, it could happen, and then I'll just have to re-record whatever episode it happened in and apply the fixes. Before this episode tonight, I did spend a couple hours trying to see if I could sneak in a lot of like bug fixes and updates that happened over the end parts of development of 2.3.6. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get something that worked with the save, but there wasn't a huge amount that saved, or that changed, so it's not a huge deal. What do we have here, though? Abelos Demise and Modular Task Force Cruiser. Let's nuke you. Alright, we got a lot of Majestics here that want to cause problems. But yeah, it was a hell week. I'd basically been planning after last release we'd do like a quick Fall of the Republic patch to get in things like field bases, and then I'd take the week to just work on some videos, relax a bit. But then that didn't happen. So I was not pleased. But now, even if it does come back, I'll at least have had these like 24 hours of slight relief. Because I'm still not entirely convinced. I won't be until we have a while without it, but oh well. We are losing a lot of stuff here, but we're also killing a lot of Majestics. So we have a lot of money, so we can buy those vendors again. Is it possible to see a mobile version of Thrawn's Revenge for people who don't have a computer? Unfortunately, the mod can only be available where the game is, so that isn't really something we'd be able to do. Alright. There's no way we win this battle, but I'm hoping we can kind of delay or get some kills. Doesn't look like we can. But yeah, so we'll have this this playthrough going probably for a little while still. But the Fall of the Republic playthrough that we're doing, which I am probably going to be recording some of tomorrow in the afternoon, or tomorrow as of when this is being recorded. That's kind of on the end points. It should be finishing relatively soon. So, I wonder if we can just take this fleet. Yeah, let's do that. Let's try to defend these guys, because this isn't even our planet. But yeah, so the Fall of the Republic playthrough should be ending soon, so I am going to be trying to get the community challenge going. Now that I have some time, hopefully. Fall of the Republic update when? I mean, now that we're done with the bug, hopefully, we might be able to do that sooner. Okay, if you're Victoria... Admiral Jeratai. Let's get in Stereo Shotgun to do some bomb protection. Antagonizer as well. Appetite for Destruction. And let's just turn on the missile jamming field. And Reaper. Augustus. Thank you, Mr. Puerto Rican. Is Eka furry? No. I can confirm here he is not. Rage of the Empire. Tonfall. But yeah, basically with Fall of the Republic, what I've wanted to do since release of 2.3.6 here is to get field bases out, and then we'd be able to spend some more time after that working on the next sets of reworks on the Galactic level for both mods. So we could have like 0.8 for Fall of the Republic at that point, and 2.4 maybe for Thrawn's Revenge, taking a little bit more. It really depends on how fast some stuff happens with the Hapens. Alright, we can technically nuke the Liberties in one HV gunshot because most of their health is coming from shields. But it seems like a bit of a waste. Here, let's go for you. Over there.
Copy. Go after the stragglers. Regroup for another attack.
Alright, that Majestic is probably just going to die on its own. The bombers against you. I don't want to risk the allegiances. I just kind of want to use our bombers to do what damage we can, then we'll move forward. And we'll see where we want to put these, the rest of our pop cap into in a second.
Eliminating target. I've got him.
Thank you, Wisquism. Mono's asking more Sea of Thieves, really enjoying it. Yeah, so both groups that I'm playing with should actually be continuing there. Let's get in some regular VSDs, just right here. We can still fit a strike cruiser as well. But yeah, so the group with like Kalo, Sleverd, and Scarecrow, that'll be continuing. Same with more with Charlie, Eck, and maybe Mark again.
For the Empire. Excellent shot.
But Galactic reworks what's coming, Vinny's asking. So one thing I want to do is kind of just a visual thing. We're rearranging some stuff on the map. Because we're having a lot more planet management style stuff in the mods. So having it be a bit easier to see more planets at a glance would be nice. Now that choices between planets will matter a little bit more. And just for general visual friendliness. But there's also going to be some changes to the influence and government mechanics, where we want to expand those for factions. Like the New Republic has theirs, but we want to expand that a bit more, make sure each faction does get their unique government mechanics. So that'll be worked on. Some stuff like it's basically a whole economic rework, which involves a lot of the influence stuff. Stuff like a new resource ship crews, which we've talked about a little bit in the past. But with that, we're not entirely sure if the trade-offs needed to make it work will be worth having it. So it's basically another resource entirely that functions kind of similarly to credits in that you have a certain income, you spend some to make the ships, and it works that way. So that Empire at War isn't just a one resource game still. Because like most strategy games have multiple resource types, and Empire at War obviously doesn't do that. But we have to still do some testing to see if some of the workarounds we've done to make that work as well as we'd hope. Shit. I think focusing on this guy is going to be what we want to do. The MC90s are going to be doing most of the damage. Like these are tanky, the MC80 Home 1 types, but their damage is still higher, but like proportionally not quite as dangerous as the MC90s. Let's go for this one. We'll keep taking this out. So UI quality of life stuff, Jax is asking. So that's part of it, but like the actual mechanics are the main focus. And then the UI stuff is more making it so the mechanic stuff is as easy to read as possible. Alright, let's put in Endurance. Emperor's Wrath. I really wish I had more Lancers. I guess I'll send them over here. We are going to lose Pyrrhic Victoria. It's just engines. Swap over to that. There's also plans for stuff like resources that you don't really spend directly, but planets and different building types have a sort of upkeep that they require each week. So if you aren't producing enough of a given resource, then that'll have impacts on things like influence in your economy. Basically helping the Galactic, more stuff to help the Galactic level not feel like it's just a glorified battle menu. Alright. Red Vessel. Get on in there. Alright, we've taken out a couple of the bombers. Imperial Warlord Star. Cool stick. Fatality. Strike Cruiser. And Chasseur. See if I can move you back. We're going to lose Red Vessel, but we're planning to go to the next era relatively soon. Just HV gun that one. Help us blow through it a little bit faster.
Taking him out. Engaging the enemy.
Damn it. They're gonna go for this one. I was hoping they wouldn't.
Enemies in range.
Under control.
I have them now. Target locked.
Watch it. He's coming around.
Falling out of formation.
Narrowing position.
There we go.
Coming around.
Attack that target.
Eliminating target.
We're basically gonna lose this entire fleet, but this is a huge fleet of theirs as well. I'm kind of just hoping it'll be more
To your position.
of a problem for them than us. Especially when we have the HV guns, because we'll have to fight them eventually. And we have so much money to kind of replace stuff.
Intercepting.
Blasted scum.
Alright, Jeritai. There's still that other Home 1 type on the other side of the rocks, but
I'm on them.
I got one.
More enemy craft.
we have dealt with their fighters pretty well.
Intercepting.
They're hitting us.
Reporting.
Alright, let's go for this one.
I've got him. Stay in formation. Get behind
They
him.
won't be around much longer.
I have them now. Ready for duty. Reporting.
Get some of these ships further into our defensive boat. I probably should have used that on the Home 1 type.
Enemies in range.
Thinking about it now. Here, you just fly back.
Destroyer standing by.
You go further up.
Where'd he go?
You stop.
Star Destroyer reporting in. I copy. Carrot Commander here. Attacking.
Alright, having the Carrick on a Mon Cal is helpful.
Comlink active. Nowhere to run.
Squad, move in.
Yes, Commander.
Yeah, I see a lot of people like try to put their Lancers up more, which I'm doing right now. Don't do what I just did. Usually you want them kind of behind the ships you want to protect. That way they're not taking fire, and you don't need them to maneuver out as fast, because they're very slow ships.
Target at maximum firepower. Hypervelocity gun available.
Copy that. Heading out.
Your command,
Awaiting
sir.
your orders.
Alright, there we go.
Weapons online.
Target locked.
Awaiting orders. Reporting.
Eh,
Eliminating target.
On our way.
get straight back.
Coordinates.
Alright, what do you have? Dual turbos, dual turbos.
Awaiting your
Okay,
command.
Jeritai, go on up. Shusser, fall back.
Copy.
Jeritai should be able to tank it at least until another HV gunshot comes up.
Coming around. Target locked.
Going to start another AOTR playthrough that got updated at some point.
Fire at will.
Targeting their weapon systems.
TIE Defender standing by. Awaiting command. What are your orders?
There's a lot of stuff I want to do on the channel, and like there's a lot of stuff I want to cover with even just TR and Fall of the Republic, and I also want to do some like Phoenix Rising in there, some other EAW mods. So I want to make sure I don't just like overdo it on EAW, especially when I do have the options to play other games as well. Alright, we lost Red Wessel. We are going to go to the next era anyways.
Constructing unit.
So let's get Antagonizer back,
Production.
as well as Fury Victoria. Naval Lost Demise, and Modular Task Force Cruiser. They might be sending in some ground stuff there.
We shall be there shortly.
Construction complete.
What, do we have the HV guns here? No, we don't.
Beginning construction.
We really need them. Alright, let's start.
Construction.
Guys. There we go. I never airlock the patron units. I basically just allow them to stay.
Blast them.
Which isn't a perfect representation of how the mod works, but for the playthroughs, it's fine. 2 for 1.
Roger that. Full speed.
And we have an interdictor. I was hoping they'd stay even more grouped up, and we just take out a whole cluster of them. Right. I think if I target this one, we might hit these two. I don't think we're going to actually hit this one, but... Damn it.
Form up. Form up.
Oh well.
Engines.
I can't be too upset.
Commander.
Current commander here. Moving to sector.
Awaiting orders. Receiving orders.
Here we go. Another thing with the Galactic reworks that we're focusing on is changing how the back end, mostly of how shipyards and structures work. Because one issue that Empire at War has that's inherent to the game engine is that the AI can't tell what a defensive structure is. So if you build these guys, any of these guys, the AI can't tell they're there when they're attacking, so they'll attack just based on whatever else is there. So what we're actually going to be doing is, rather than having the shipyards be these main things you build, what we're going to try first is having it so that you have a collection of the units there. So you'll build shipyards in this menu as well. They'll be an individual standalone structure. And we'll be taking the combat power of those groups in a script, figuring out how much it was, breaking it up into like 5 different groups, and then it spawns the appropriate starbase level as a dummy unit, so you don't actually interact with it directly, to let the AI know roughly how strong that planet is. So they'll send appropriate forces. For the player, it shouldn't really be a noticeable thing. It may simplify constructing shipyards a bit, because ideally we'd have it so it's just one type you build per planet, and that'll also help with making sure like the AI is building proper stuff. So yeah, you'd still be able to build like a Lancer at a level 4 shipyard or whatever. That wouldn't change. If that doesn't work, there's other ways we can do it, but that one is the one that we're hoping will work. And it should it'll give us a lot more options on what to do with the destruction of the Imperial fleets by other Imperials must come to an end. We will stop the ridiculous infighting these warlords have perpetuated, and the Empire will retake its rightful place in the galaxy. So yeah, the scripting was messed up when I started this playthrough, so we don't actually have Daala. We do have Pelion, so that's nice. I might be able to code it so that I can build her directly, because this started like a month and a half before release. We have Brachus, and that is what I really want. Hey, what? Huh. Okay.
Brigade standing by. Reporting.
Yeah, I think we're going to go straight through to Pelion as soon as we get the option to.
Construction complete. Invasion commencing.
Actually, do I want to use Brachus for a while? I kind of do. Maybe if Brachus dies. And yeah, I do want to put in Daala at least, so we'll see. Huh, that's new. Alright, I forget which side the... Well, the base is in the middle, so we should be able to at least take one of these.
We've secured a landing zone.
Heading out.
Destination set.
The enemy is approaching.
Brigade standing by.
Reinforcements on
All acknowledged.
Moving out. Reporting.
unit destroyed.
There we go. Good for them.
Moving to secondary position.
I guess I'll land all the stormtroopers while I can.
Moving out.
At maximum unit capacity.
Support fire ready.
Reinforcement point contested.
Armor ready. Rolling out. Charge.
Unit destroyed.
That's not good.
Just give me a target.
Alright, don't go up there then.
Moving.
Awaiting orders.
Yes, Commander.
Ready. Moving out.
Alright, keep the assault up. Brachus. Crush this the anti-infantry turret.
Target.
Everyone else can probably come into that now. There. Kill the base. They really don't have that much here. I think it was just a couple companies of the commandos and like 3 structures.
Moving to secondary position.
Bombing run available.
Copy. Initiate attack run.
Probably not the best use of the bombing runs, but just want to clear out this area.
AT-AT ready. Target coordinates. All right, men. Take cover.
Drop there.
Men.
You guys come around this side.
Yes, sir.
You guys can just come in.
Armor transport ready. Roger. Affirmative. Reporting in. Target acquired.
Alright, we should be capturing this in a second.
Reporting in.
You guys gotta spread out so you don't just immediately die.
We've secured an abandoned sensor array.
There we go. Oh, there's actually more here than I thought.
Roger that.
No, never mind. No, there's not.
Form up. Commencing attack.
It's just how it's grouped. You don't want to be up there.
Orders.
Do you plan on doing any specific TR campaigns in the future, not just Art of War and Empire's End? Yes, actually. The next one that I do will likely be Hunt for Singe.
Weapons
Because I'm going to be trying to finish the Executor model. And I think that'll be a good time to revisit Zinj, who we haven't played in like 2 or 3 years almost, since like the 2.2 beta. Here, you can get out of there. But yeah, so the next one we do for TR should be Hunt for Zinj. With new Executor model.
Cannon charged.
Alright, Brachus. Head on up there.
Awaiting orders.
Okay, infantry apparently don't care.
Reporting. Attack.
Bombardment available.
Yes, sir.
Rip.
Destination set.
Oh, did we lose control of that?
Yes, Commander. Affirmative, sir.
There. Let's just get Brachus over here. I let this all get way too spread out. Thought it'd be easier and paid for it with everyone's lives. Is the WD being remodeled or is there a bug with it? Yeah, so Cerasil did a new model, 2 new models for it actually, because there's going to be some stuff there. But the reason it was removed for this version is because we want to make it like finish its abilities and stuff, so that it's more World Devastator-y instead of just Battle Cruiser. Alright, we're gonna get some repairs there. But yeah, the models are done. We've got over 10 finished models that just aren't in game yet or aren't textured yet. That we're going to be working on. Because we have a pretty big backlog of texturing, but we have like a bunch of us that are doing models, and the Cerasil especially is very fast with them. Terrible has like 5 or 6 models that haven't been textured yet. So like Golan's Majestic Defender class is going to be added. Corona is being redone. I don't think it's been redone yet. Sasheen, a couple Revan's Revenge things have been modeled, not textured. There's like 3 or 4 HUD ships that have been modeled, not textured. The entire Haven Space roster, except for 1 or 2 units, has been modeled but not textured. So I'm going to be trying to get as much of that done as possible after I finish the Executor. The shipyards have been modeled. They're waiting for texture. So there's a lot coming.
Yes, Commander. We've recruited some mercenaries. Repair station constructed. Order, sir. Reporting.
The problem is that when you have all the modelers or all the people who do textures are also modelers, so we're doing our own stuff and then also trying to texture the stuff that other people are making. But we've got 3 Cole potentially learning to texture, and some other people who will hopefully be doing some of the textures as well. Do you plan on doing a Mega Empire War campaign, like to start on Fall of the Republic and move to AOTR and finish with TR? I mean, if I ever did that, it would probably be with our own Galactic Civil War mod.
Beginning construction.
That would seem like the best way to do it. What else are we supposed to do with Mr. Puerto Rican's Chimera texture? If we didn't have a Galactic Civil War mod that let you play in Canon or Legends. Wouldn't that be epic? Oh, okay. I got scared there. Let's see. They're coming into Talasia, actually. Don't like that.
Receiving location.
So let's move out. Alright, we were actually moving south with Pellion's fleet as well. So let's do that again. So we want to take Oberon, we want to take Wayland. This Banamir fleet, I'm going to send down... Alright, here we go.
The enemy has been spotted.
Choose your reinforcements.
Alright, let's drop the Eclipse, Steve.
Moving out.
Jones. Which one should we nuke? This one? Pellion, get in for your bonus there. And let's drop an Imperial just off the bow. Maybe we'll want an IPV.
Location confirmed. Destroyer here.
Get some fighter coverage there, and
Maneuvering.
Heading out.
some interdictors for the anti-missile stuff.
Squadron reporting.
Copy. Targeting.
Target critical. I got one.
We'll be there shortly.
Coming back around for another run.
I copy. Reporting. Engaging the enemy.
Alright. I want some fighter support, so let's put that off this side.
Reinforcements cancelled.
Draw their fire. By my
We really just want the Eclipse firing on the Home 1 types.
Star Destroyer reporting in.
Sir, I've got him.
Even a Carrick would help.
attack.
Alright.
The lasers.
Awaiting orders.
Go after
I'm going to move this up so we can repair
I've got him.
that ISD a little bit.
I'm losing.
We should be able to keep this guy alive.
Another attack.
Thank you, Rather Noobish, for subbing.
Where are the others?
What are the factions? So this mod is, or this is a mod. The base game has the Empire, the Rebels, and the Zan Consortium, which is a pirate faction made for the base game. This mod converts the game into post-Endor. We do have a Clone Wars mod as well. In the Clone Wars mod, you can currently play as the CIS and the Republic, though Hutts will be coming at some point. In this mod, there are currently a bunch of Imperial Splinter factions. We're playing as the main Empire faction right now. You can play as the New Republic, which is what the Rebels kind of built after Endor. Factions like the CSA, or Corporate Sector Authority, which is a kind of small minor faction in the Galactic North.
We've got them on screen.
Target locked.
And the Empire of the Hand, which was Thrawn's Empire in the Unknown Regions, with other stuff coming in the future.
Reporting in.
Is there a Clone Wars version of this game as well? Yeah, we make a mod called Fall of the Republic, which is set in the Clone Wars. So these same mod mechanics with Clone Wars stuff.
Excellent shot. No one Where'd he go? I got him.
Reporting. Bomber target. Roger that. Closing on enemy.
I've got them in my sights. Nowhere to run.
What campaigns do you plan to add for Fall of the Republic? There are a few. As Awesome Creation mentioned, there's in the Discord, there's a pinned sub-mod made by a couple of the testers that adds Operation Dirge's Lance. We'll be doing a Dirge's Lance version as well in the future. Outer Rim Sieges. Like, there's going to be more maps that are built around specific areas as well. That'll probably be one of the focuses. Right now, the bigger Galactic focus is on some of the Galactic mechanics,
Ready to receive orders.
rather than necessarily expanding the number of maps.
Yes,
Falling out of formation.
Because one of the things when we're trying to do overhauls is that when we have so many maps, it's very difficult to apply things consistently.
Form up.
So especially at a time when we have so many ideas for what we want to do and are in the middle of implementing all that stuff, it can get a bit difficult to keep track of it all, and it can delay it. It's one of the difficulties with upgrading TR over Fall of the Republic, is because there's so many more factions, so many more maps. Reworks take a lot longer. Like, doing the tactical reworks in Fall of the Republic, much faster, because it's just the two factions with their core rosters. In TR, there's all the extra heroes and units and stuff. All out here for getting the PA. Well, I count that under Imperial Splinter factions. Even though they did
Report my way.
try to establish, they weren't. One of the interesting things with the Penastar Lemon is that they didn't necessarily try to just like take the place of the Empire. They were a bit more pragmatic about that. Like, they still saw themselves as like the representatives of the New Order, and the best hopes for the New Order to continue to do what they were doing. But as far as like the Empire itself went, less that. Like, they supported Thrawn a bit, and they were one of the most effective parts of the Dark Empire campaigns, but Kane was perfectly happy to pragmatically make whatever he felt would work, as terrible as they ended up being. Let's send Brachus out to the north side here. Are they still coming into Talasia?
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Are there any other tier 1 heroes other than Thrawn and Akbar? No. We keep them, like, in Galactic history, there's very few that would come even close to them. Like, there are some tier 2 heroes that have positive traits. Let's build Welsh Dragon back up. Fatality. Cool stick. And I should mention, since it has been a while, that these named units are basically just there for thanks for the patrons during the playthroughs. So if you would like that in the playthroughs, you can be a Twitch subscriber, YouTube member, or patron. And there's links in the descriptions to that stuff. But for actually playing the mod, they aren't there. Astral Hammer. I mean, we could try to take all the transitory mists pretty easily, which is probably the right play. I'm kind of new to the lore after Fall of the Empire. Will that be a problem? We try to explain as much as we can in game, so it really shouldn't be too much of a problem for anyone. Like, there are a lot of people who we know learn about this kind of period from playing the mod. Let's keep putting those in. I'd like to take out Commonor. Because if we can take out Commonor and get to Jindine with this fleet while Pelion goes down to Transitory Mists this way, that would be nice. I remember your PA playthrough becoming a successful mod author. Can you give more advice on modding successfully? That is something where I've been kind of planning out a video for a while. Just general advice for starting a mod rather than like technical specifics or getting into modding. Because I want to do that, and I want to do a video, like a topical video on like the idea of paid modding and my opinions on that. But let's get Oversky in there.
Construction complete.
So we'll take that back, and then we'll just take these three in quick succession if we can. Or I'm even gonna just go on that now.
Construction complete.
Alright, Brachus.
Invasion commencing.
So much
Secure
snow.
Reinforcements.
I think they have managed to build this back up pretty heavily, because we lost it a while ago.
We've secured a landing zone.
If we can take this one, then even better. Alright, I'm not actually seeing anything yet. There we go. Crap. Wow. I'm just gonna lose Brachus immediately. Run! Run, Brachus! Wow, he's not gonna... Is he gonna die? Maybe. Maybe. Alright.
On my way, sir.
Let's get him some support.
Setting course.
Base is under attack.
Moving out. Inputting coordinates.
Can't get too greedy with starting points again.
Ready.
Awaiting orders.
Yes, sir. Scouting.
Ready.
AT-AT ready.
Unit destroyed.
Armored transport
Unit
ready.
destroyed.
On my way.
Yep. Roger. Avoiding fire.
Reporting in. Walker moving out.
Alright. I guess we'll get the extra vision for all the good it's going to do in snow.
Support order acknowledged. Construction complete.
I got excited that that was going to be
Reporting in.
a sensor array.
Blast them.
Battalion standing by.
We'll back you up. We'll cover you. Sensor node constructing. Providing backup.
Do you have any advice for someone who isn't good at playing the games? Well, aside from just like playing on lower difficulty levels, the main thing is just pick the areas you're going to defend. Generally, when people are playing on lower difficulty levels and saying it's too hard, part of that is coming from initial attacks, because when there's so many factions, there can be multiple attacks at once from different ones, but then there's a lot of downtime, and they'll only attack again when there's that many factions. But if you just sort of pick some areas of your territory that you kind of just accept are, okay, this is probably going to get taken, these are the more important ones over here, I'm going to defend those, then it's a lot easier to build out from there. I shouldn't have wasted that, but you'll usually end up with better results. Even if you just like sell the stuff on those territories and don't even bother waiting for the auto-resolve to come up, that'll give you more to invest in the other territories. It's especially important as like Era 1 New Republic, which has the planets up near, like in this area on the mini-map around the Pentastar alignment, where they're probably never going to be able to really defend on against that. So you're usually better off giving that up and kind of just focusing around the southern parts and the and Mon Calamari. And even with Mon Calamari, you're usually better off just like building up defenses. Don't try to expand from there until you're able to link it up with the southern territories. Right. Let's go. Do you plan on doing another 12-hour live stream? Yeah. There should be another 12-hour live stream coming when we hit 25,000 subscribers, which we're actually closer to than I thought we'd be at this point, given how the last couple months have gone. So that will happen. I haven't made any specific decisions for it yet, but... And with Datapad having just hit 20,000, I'm trying to think of something I can do for like a Datapad stream as well.
Yes, ready. There they are.
All right, what are you dying to?
I am hit. You will pay for your recklessness. The situation.
God damn it! I put him too far out. I didn't think the 3 T2Bs would do that much. Okay, we may as well just go to Pelion now.
Heading out.
We'll check it out.
AT-AT ready. Activate.
Wasn't the one where I lost my voice for 20k?
They are in my sights. Armor transport ready. Targeting.
Like for the Corey loses 20k? About campaigns ending, are there any ideas you guys plan to implement to make it more worth going all the way to the end of it? Yeah, there's going to be some more like late era or late game events to make it more worth at least building up to that point. And there's generally also going to be different victory options, because like taking over every single planet will probably never be as interesting. So having like breakpoints where it's just like, okay, you won, would probably be better. All right, but that's going to do it for this first episode. We're going to record at least one more, but I am going to save. Hope we don't hit the freeze, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. So for those on Twitch, Stick around for those on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed the episode, and hope to see you next time. Bye.